Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about areas of circles and sectors of circles. I've printed these notes off from Blend, but if you are not able to print, you can just follow along on a sheet of notebook paper and take notes. So let's jump in. Area of a circle is the product of pi and the radius squared. So we see our formula, A is equal to pi r squared. Make sure you've got that written down on your notes somewhere so that you can refer back to it when working on practice problems. So first example, what is the area of a circular putting green with diameter of 20 feet in terms of pi? And then we're going to find it to the nearest square foot. So first, let's draw ourselves a picture. We've got a circle and it has a diameter of 20 feet. Now, we know that to plug into the area formula, area equals pi r squared, we need the radius and not the diameter. But we know here that the diameter is 20. We also know that our diameter is 2 times the radius, which if we set that equal to d, means our radius is equal to 10. So our radius is 10 feet. Now we're going to plug that into our formula, pi times 10 squared. So the area is equal to 100 pi, and we were using feet. And when we do area, it's always our units squared, feet squared. So area is equal to 100 pi feet squared. Now that is our answer in terms of pi. Now, if we're going to find our answer to the nearest square foot, we're going to plug in pi into our calculator. And when we plug that in, remember we're rounding, so we're getting an approximate answer. So area is equal to 314. Again, our units are feet squared. Looking at example B. An archery target has a radius of 12 inches. What is the area of the target in terms of pi and to the nearest square inch? So again, we're going to look at this by drawing a circle. We're told this time that it has a radius of 12 inches. So we're ready to plug straight into our formula. Area is equal to pi r squared. Area is equal to pi times 12 squared. So area is equal to 144 pi inches squared. Now that's our answer in terms of pi. And again, if we were going to plug into our calculator to get it rounded to the nearest foot, we would do 144 times pi. And when we do that, we get, again, it's an approximation, 454 inches squared. Now remember, that's an approximation. Is when we do that is because we're rounding a pi. It would be a much longer number, and we're rounding it to 454 because we're rounding it to the nearest square inch. All right, both of those problems are when we're plugging directly in to our area formula. Now we're going to look at a couple of examples where we're going to work backwards, where we're given the area and we're going to solve for the radius. Now, the great news here is that we can use that same formula, but instead of plugging into r, we know what our area is, so we're going to plug that in. And we are actually looking for our radius. What is the radius of a circle whose area is 81 pi square inches? So we go back to the formula. Area is equal to pi r squared. Now this time we don't know what r is, but we do know what a is. So we're going to plug in our 81 pi over on the left side and set that equal to pi r squared. Now we see that we have pi on both sides. We can cancel that pi out. So I have 81 is equal to r squared. And then to undo a square, we take the square root of both sides and we find that r is equal to 9 inches. So our radius is 9 inches when our area is 81 pi square inches. All right, example D. What is the diameter of a circle whose area is 95 square centimeters? So this time we're looking for the diameter and we're told what the area is. So much like the one before, we're going to plug in our area for A and work backwards to solve for R. So area is equal to pi r squared. We're plugging in our 95 for the area is equal to pi r squared. Now, this is one where our area was given to us in terms of like the nearest square centimeter. So we have to divide by our pi because we can't just cancel it out. So before we take the square root of both sides to undo the r, we're going to divide by pi. And then we get that r squared is equal to 30.24. And again, I just plugged that into my calculator. I did 95 divided by pi, and then I'm going to take the square root of each side now. And so r is equal to, and again, it's a bit of an approximation, but it's equal to 5.5 centimeters. Now, that's what our radius is. We didn't want the radius, we want the diameter. And again, we know that the diameter is 2r, so our diameter is 2 times 5.5. So our diameter is 11 centimeters. And that's what we were looking for here.